Yeah.
Um, Interesting. Are you aware, like, when you meet other people that are, I would say, creators or like archangels like you, do you know them off the bat?
They find me. They always seek me out. Because I do galactic history report. And so I tell them every incarnation they've had. And so they don't come to me unless they have a connection to me. So I always will know. And then sometimes I'll see them and recognize their energy. And other times, but I recognize any starseed. So because that's part of the speaking thing, I can see them way before they've awakened, way before they know. I told my soulmate, she's a girl, and I told her 2 years before she woke up that she was a starseed. And I said, you'll understand at some point, And then finally now she's like, I can't believe that, like, I was ever like this, and you knew from the beginning. I'm like, no, I can see your light. I'm like,
Yeah, that is so cool. So, what state are you in right now?
Texas.
Oh, that's right. Okay, Texas.
Yeah.
Are you originally from Texas?
I was born in Texas, but I've lived all over, literally all over the world.
Okay, gotcha. Neat. Yeah, you have. I'm glad I had that other reading before you so that I could see like more beyond. Because I'll kind of venture out of the universe depending on the soul, just as much as they can kind of tolerate the exploration. Usually, they just want to focus on our universe and, well, what did I do? But yours is fascinating.
I wanted to see if you could pick up on those other things because, like I said, there's only one person who's been able to crack my vault, so to speak. Yeah, because I've been protected. Because if people start learning that like I'm one of the progenitors of the human race, it might put me in harm's way. I was protected for a long time because if I had been exposed, if I had come out, then it would have put me under even more attack than I already was facing. So. Right. I've had many attempts in my life. I've died 4 times. Like I'm not shitting you when I say, they've been out trying to, get me gone.
Yeah. But I mean, it's like they've always known that though, so.
Yeah. I mean, I guess
do you know that you're, I mean, cause I get the feeling once this shift happens that it's kind of like, my job's kind of done. I'm just here to help you, like assimilate I don't get that you're going to stay for that long. Should you choose not to, you don't have to. Oh, yeah. But
you mean like once shift has happened, whether or not I will continue here on the new earth, or
it's kind of, well, because that's going to open like all of these other dimensional realms, right? Yeah. So it's more of like if you were to stay like on the, so I'm going to be shifting back down because I'm going to be helping people like boots on the ground to help them ascend, which I don't mind doing at all. And it explains why I've had so much trauma in my life. But like with you, I get that it's like the assimilation process. Kind of like the mission leaders in a sense, like get them acclimated. You guys can handle this, and then I got to go kind of shift. So I get that you're going to be like,
yeah,
like how you said you've lived all over. It's going to be the same way. But
yeah, probably. Yeah. I don't see myself staying beyond that initial like acclimation and getting everybody integrated, and then on to the next.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's so neat. So yeah, that you'll be going into like those other creator realms too. I get the feeling that your universe, because you're here, right? And of course we can like split ourselves, because we are so multiple.
I'm like a small fractal. I have 4 pieces, 4 fractals of my soul, so to speak.
Okay, so that makes sense, because I do see. I was like, well, are there other people running her universe right now while she's here? And I was like, no, I see. Yeah, like everything's kind of like interesting.
Yeah, that's why I had to die for those times. I died 3 times, but I came in with 1 piece. Then I had to die to get the rest of the pieces. And then they were like, okay, I think that's enough pieces. That should be enough to get her going.
Yeah. Okay. So were these like NDEs, or they were actual deaths?
Actual deaths. So my heart stop had to be revived. So I count that as an actual death because, yeah, definitely.
Gotcha. Okay. That is fascinating. Yeah. That is like,
there's one particular time that always stands out to me. So I'll tell you this one. You can find these on interviews I've done, but when I was 19, I tried to take my life, and I took pills, and so that my heart stopped 4 times on the way to the hospital. And it was really funny because the last time that it stopped, it was the longest. that they had to remind me by, I actually was in the vacuum of space. And I remember a hearing, which somebody who was also, I'm on the Andromedan Council, and they were asking me, so did you think it would be that easy? And I'm like, no, but did it have to be this hard? And then they're like, I knew at that point that I couldn't die, and I was like, all right, well. So when the psychiatrist was asking me, she's like, so if I let you go, are you going to do this again? I'm like, I can't die anyway. She just kind of looked at me. I'm like, no, really? Can't, I'm sorry. But yeah, so it definitely changed my outlook on things. But yeah, that was, I talked to them and they were like, yeah, like leave. You've got a job to do. Like, here, take this with you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Get my ass back to the trenches again,
Yeah.
So
was that the last death?
No.
Got it. Okay.
No, there was technically two more after that, but one really, really bad one, which was not, neither of the following two were not my choice. So
okay. Well, I think I can speak for all of humanity when I say I'm glad you didn't die.
Thank you. Been a lot of wasted work, I guess, or wasted effort if I didn't have the follow through. Right, the groundwork, it'd be nice, but did the rest.
Yeah. I'm curious how many are actually, because of everything that's happening right now. Do you know how many of you are here right now? Even as fractals?
How many, you mean how many archangels? How many? Yes, there's only 12. And they're also hybrids. And there's not very many of those either. Hybrid souls, not genetic hybrids. Different. And not a walk-in, that's different too. And not an embodiment, that's different.
Okay. Are they all incarnated here right now?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. But again, remember, they're fractals of themselves.
Right,
so.
right. Yeah. But even a fractal is like huge.
Yeah. My twin Ray is one. Our lives are exactly the same.
Oh, duh. Okay.
He's died the same amount of times in the same ways. We have the same scars. We have the same tattoo placements. Girl, we have telepathy. He's like messaging me and he's like, what are you doing? Yeah.
So, like, are you talking about me?
literally. Yeah. So it's
so cool. Yeah.
But it's cool. It's weird. But yeah, so we know of 12 that are, and again, all of those pieces. But the 12th is not Lucifer. You would think the 12th, but it's actually Metatron, which is interesting. And that,
I love that.
Interesting being right there.
Have you met him or her yet?
He doesn't have a gender, but often sometimes comes as like people refer to him as masculine, but yeah, definitely not a gender. But no, I have not. But I know that he's here, but I don't think he's stationary. Like, I don't think he doesn't stay in the same body. He's more of a walk-in that comes and does what he needs to do, because he's even above the archangels if you had like to think about the hierarchy, so.
Gotcha. That is awesome.
Yes. I'll definitely recommend two books for you to read too.
Yes, please. Yeah. So I can get my human vernacular caught up.
I know when you read it, you're going to be like, oh my God, yes, this, yes, seen this, yes. Like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's actually what I heard, earlier in the reading was they're like, okay, now you can go read up on it now. I was like, well, thanks.
Permission.
Yeah, that's so fascinating. So yeah, you're not going to be here for that much longer. Like, I don't know if they give you timelines, but I can't see any of this stuff taking any longer than 10 years from now. So
the date that I've been given since 2009, got used to saying 2009, was 2030 was the date that I've been given. Makes sense. So if you look at every one of my posts, 2030 is a hashtag. It's been that way since I've been putting that since 2011. So
yeah, that absolutely makes sense, because it's kind of like if I were to read the records beyond 2030, it's not. Yeah. It just doesn't. And when I see people that are these light workers and star seeds, or whatever you want to label them, star seeds that are going to be activated or that are activated, I keep telling them, I'm like, I see you doing this, but you're not even aged. Like, I don't see you with like white hair. Like, that's why I'm always like, this looks like it's got to be within the next 10 years. Yeah, we don't. Once we get to a certain point, we won't anymore. And we literally become immortal, so to speak, because that we become is that we remember, what we did all along. So fascinating.